Good Sunday, good Sunday, good Sunday. It's the dude, yo Reverend, Reverend Rackers, here on this Easter Sunday. Zombie Jesus Day itself, congregation. 420, all on the same holiday. How can we go wrong, congregation? How can we go wrong? It's been a few weeks since season 3 started. Like I said, this season's going to be a lot different than last. The Reverend's just going to do videos as he sees fit. But of course, he's got to come talk to the congregation on Easter. That's where it all began last year, congregation, was on Easter. Or as we now call it, Zombie Jesus Day. Zombie Jesus Day. Just thinking about it makes me happy. Also this year we got 420. So first of all, the Reverend, his sunglasses are fogging up. The Reverend would like to talk about the origins of Easter. Most of you all don't know that the origins of Easter come from a pagan holiday. That's where the eggs and the rabbits come from. They symbolize birth and fertility. And that's why Easter's on a different day every year. Because Easter falls on the first Sunday after the first full new moon of the equinox. So that's why you get a different day every year, congregation. A different day every year for Easter, because really, I mean, if you think about it, Christ didn't just rise random days. So, I mean, basically Christianity just took this holiday and they made it a rebirth, just like the pagans had it as a rebirth. You do what you want to, Christians, and I guess that suits you just well. Now, last year I discussed why we hide Easter eggs. And well, we've got to discuss it again. It's one of the best ones the Reverend's ever done. One of the best. So Reverend's going to take off the sunglasses for a second. He's going to take off the hat. He's going to ask all the kiddies to gather around in front of him. Gather around in front of the Reverend, kiddies. He's about to tell you a story. So they nailed Jesus to the cross. They nailed him to the cross. He's dying on the cross. And after he dies, they stick him in a cave. Stick him in a cave, 30 days of suffering. He's 3 days dead in the cave. When he rises up at life, Jesus rises up and comes back to life. But what do we call people that rise up from the dead and come back to life, kiddos? Zombies! That's right, kiddos. They're zombies. Just like on The Walking Dead, Jesus was a zombie. So, zombie Jesus was still very compassionate. And he didn't want to eat the flesh of man, being that men were already eating his flesh. That's a whole nother Oprah. Anyway, so zombie Jesus needed to get protein just like every other zombie. So he started eating the townspeople's eggs. And that created a problem. Because it's not like today, folks, where you just walk down to the store and buy some eggs, walk to the supermarket and buy some eggs, even walk to the gas station and get some eggs. You can't do that back then. They didn't have that. You had to have chickens, they had to lay the eggs, and zombie Jesus was eating them all. And that disturbed the townspeople because they didn't have eggs. Well, they all got together, had a big meeting. One man in the back, the very back room, they're discussing it. Nobody can come up with anything. He comes walking up and he's like, hey, excuse me, Jebediah here, you know, actually, yeah, right by the stables, yeah, yeah, yep. Well, what if we just colored the eggs and hid them? Oh my God! What if we just colored the eggs and hid the eggs? That's genius, Jebediah. It's genius. So the townspeople got all their eggs together, and they dyed them green and brown, earthy tones, so they could hide them around. So when they needed eggs, they knew where they were at. But Zombie Jesus just couldn't find them no more. So he had to ride off into the sunset with his papa, the big G-O-D. They rose up, and now supposedly they're watching over us. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. Zombie Jesus ate eggs, and that's why we hunt and color Easter eggs during this time of year, so the kiddos can remember how hard it was for Zombie Jesus to locate his own food. It's a beautiful story, folks. And I'd just like to say, in nomine Patri, a Filii, a Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Now, off of Easter and on to 420. Now the Reverend decided this week he was going to come up with the ultimate stoner songs and the ultimate stoner movie list. Top 10. First, the ultimate stoner song list. Number 10, Weed with Willie, Toby Keith. You know it. I'll never smoke weed with Willie again. My party's all over before it begins. You love it. Number 9, Who Got the Joint by the Cottonmouth Kings. You know, who got the joint? Yeah, I got the joint. Who got the joint? We're all on point. Yes, yes. Number 8, Hits from the Bong, Cypress Hill. Gotta be on the list. Hits from the Bong. Because I Got High, Afro Man comes in at number 7. Number 6, One Toke Over the Line by Brewer and Shipley. Classic. Number 5, Hash Pipe by Weezer. Number 4, Mary Jane by Rick James. Number 3, Kaya, Bob Marley. You can't have a stoner list without Bob Marley. Number 2, Sweet Leaf by Black Sabbath. That was on every stoner list on the computer. Usually took number 1 to number 5. It's number 2 on my list. And the number 1 stoner song of all time, Smoke 2 Joints by Sublime. I smoke 2 joints in the morning. I smoke 2 joints at night. I smoke 2 joints before I smoke 2 joints, and then I feel alright. It had to be number 1, folks. All other stoner song lists will be rolled up, and smoked by Snoop Dogg and Willie Nelson. Now, the top 10 stoner movies of all time for your 420. Number 10, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. Snoochie Boochies. Number 9, Pineapple Express. I mean, that scene where they're driving the car and they just slam on the brakes and hope the cop goes by, that's fucking genius. I'm sure some stoners have tried that shit before. Number 8, Half-Baked. Yeah, have a good time, Kenny. Yeah, man. Yeah. Number 7, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. One toke over the line, you poor bastards. Just wait till he sees all these goddamn bats. no job. We ain't got shit to do. We might as well get high. Number 5, Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Oh, you're a dick, Mr. Hand. Number 4, Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. Man, just Neil Patrick Harris was funny as fuck in that movie. Rolling and shit, fucking feeling the seats. Fucking, man, that was a good ass movie. Number 3, The Big Lebowski. Mark it a 0, Smokey. This is not Vietnam. There are rules. Mark it a 0. You are over the line. Number 2, Dazed and Confused. You know what I like about them high school girls? I get older, they stay the same age. Or, you got a joint, man? Be cooler if you did. And the number 1 stoner movie of all time, Up in Smoke, with Cheech and Chong. Man, I mean, you can't even say anything. It's like, hey man, am I driving okay? I think we're parked, man. Oh shit, we're parked. Sir, can I see your license? Isn't it back there on the bumper, man? Man, that's good shit. Or, at the beginning of that fucking movie, a great line where his dad's telling Chong to get a job. He's like, you go get a goddamn job before sundown, or we're shipping you out from military school with the goddamn Finkelstein shit, kid. Son of a bitch. Great movies. Great movies. Well, the last thing Reverend would like to talk about today. It's about time we just decriminalize it. Legalize it and tax it, folks. I mean, it doesn't hurt anybody. It doesn't. It's not like alcohol where it's killing millions of people, rotting livers and shit, making you a fucking drunk douchebag to your families. I was never stoned and was a complete douchebag to somebody. Unless they ate all the chips or the popsicles or the fudgesicles, then, you know, it was iffy. But, I mean, for real, man. If you're going to let alcohol be legal, marijuana could bring in so much revenue if it was taxed. Not only would the states have a balanced budget, but I guarantee in 2 years, we would have no deficit. We would have a surplus. We would be able to stop taking money from the Social Security system and start getting that back on track to where it was supposed to be, like a savings account for people instead of places for the government to draw money from. I mean, I guarantee everybody's gotten high. Whether it wasn't for you when you tried it, or now you're fucking stuck to a couch being a full-time stoner. I mean, if it was legal, I guarantee the Reverend would smoke once in a while. I pretty much quit drinking because, I mean, God, getting drunk, I think you're just sloppy and fucking, you don't remember anything. You feel bad the next day. I mean, it's just, I mean, I might have a drink once in a while, but, you know, that might be at the bar, seeing a band, have a Crown and Coke, or a Crown and Ice, or a gin and tonic. That's about it for the Reverend right there, those 3 things. But, I mean, I wouldn't want to get off work and have to have, like, 6 drinks to go to bed. You know? I like being able to get off work and just go to bed if I need to. Although that really doesn't happen because the sleep apnea the Reverend's got, he's got to get one of them CPAP machines. He'll be like, Bane. I'll be like, good morning. Good morning, Batman. But at least I slept. Although I sound like Bane. the Reverend's got to say today. Happy 420. Happy Easter. Happy Zombie Jesus Day.